Hey, Daniel Seraph here. I'm a professional guitarist and educator, and coming at you with this fresh YouTube video about my new pedal board. So, I just got this awesome new pedal board that was assembled, designed, and put together by Mr. Alex Thornton over at TH Audio, also known as Tone Heaven Audio. And Alex helped me put this together. He's done a couple boards for me. He's done my bigger board, and recently he offered to help me out on this one. And man, I just got it. He just shipped it to me, and he did such an amazing job. So I wanted to take a moment and kind of walk through the board and just show you what I have on here. And then I'm planning to do individual kind of recommendation videos on why I chose these pedals and kind of some of the tones that are in there, you know, and some sound samples and all of that. So let me give you an idea of kind of how we put this together and what my choices were and why. Okay, so first of all, we have the TC Electric Polytune. And this is the Polytune mini size. And the reason is I opted for the mini because I knew that the power could be split you know, from the power itself. And so I didn't need that extra option of the fact that the bigger TC Electronic Polytune has kind of a power through or power out. I didn't need that option. And you know, I'm using a Pedal Train Metro 24 kind of board, and so it was important for me to basically have enough space for all the pedals, and I was already kind of pushing my luck with it. So here I decided to use the Polytune 2, the mini one, and that pedal goes then into the King Tone Duellist, and this is by a guy named Jesse Davey, and I have loved the King of Tone for a long time. It's a wonderful pedal. But I wanted to have a different dual drive option on the small board and be able to kind of exchange them out if I wanted to, and put, you know, the Duellist on the big board or the King of Tone on the small board. So I got this dual drive, and I've been absolutely blown away with it. It has the right side, which is a 808 tube screamer kind of tone, and the left side, which is the blues breaker. And I think it's incredibly diverse. It's really a wonderful pedal. It has a lot of tonal options. It has a 3-way switch that allows you to go kind of like the stock setting in the center there, the glass setting, which kind of adds some high and some presence treble, and then the fat setting for that low richness. And both of the sides of the pedal have individual controls, which is really wonderful for me because on the gigs that I play, a lot of times I need like a different drive sound. So, you know, I might need that kind of brighter, transparent blues breaker sound. And so I really like to use that with the glass setting. I use the left side of the Duellist with the glass setting, and I get that nice, bright, kind of transparent tone. And then on the right side, I have that a lot crunchier with the gain up, and a lot of times I'll stack it, or I'll use it by itself for like a pretty crunchy and in-your-face kind of mid to, you know, pushing past the mid-gain kind of stage. So that's the Duellist. I've been loving that pedal, and I'm so glad we put this one on there. That then goes into this Vemuram Shanks ODS1 pedal, which, if you don't know, this is in the style of the Noble's ODR1. Now, I've had great luck using the Vemuram pedals like in the last few years. I really love them. I actually bought this one without playing it first. I was just really excited about it, and I knew that I liked the ODS1 sound, and I know that Vemuram makes such good pedals. I've been using the Jan Ray for a long time. And I just trusted it, and I got the pedal, and gosh, it's just like an amazing kind of mid-level drive pedal. And the nice thing is, I talked to Alex about, is basically it's the same size as the Jan Ray. So that's another option that I have here. I have a Jan Ray on my larger board, and I can sub the Jan Ray out for this really easily. I can, you know, unplug it and just drop the Jan Ray on here so simply, which is great. The next pedal in the chain is going to be the Vertex Boost pedal. Now, I've been using this pedal for quite a long time. I first heard about it in the Landau era, you know, in the Robin Ford era when they were using it. And, you know, a big scandal happened with Vertex, and a lot of people have issue with Mason, but here's the deal. I think he's gone out of his way to do a good job and refund people their money. And the reality is, I can't find another boost pedal on the market that does what this pedal does. And Mason and the Vertex company have been good to me, and I've always enjoyed this pedal, and I love using it. It just sounds so transparent. And then if you are not familiar, basically you can have a volume pedal. I use the Dunlop Volume X pedal. It's also called the DVPX. I think that's the other title for it. Great volume pedal. But the neat thing about this is I actually don't use this pedal in the chain, meaning I use the Vertex Boost and this volume pedal just acts as an expression pedal for the boost. So whether the boost is on or off, the volume pedal controls it as an expression pedal. It has a great buffer in it, and it just sounds so clean and so nice. I really like it. It's a great boost, and I actually have two of them. I have one on the small board and I have one on the large board. Again, there's nothing else on the market that does what this does for me, okay? So other people have different preferences. I love this pedal, and it works great for me. So moving on, recently, right before I did this board, I decided, after touring quite a bit with, you know, just the drive pedals, the delay, and the reverb with some tremolo on it, and the amp, I was missing some of the fun of having a modulation pedal. And I did some research, and I bought the HX Stomp, which is a wonderful pedal. If you know, it's kind of big right now. It's by Line 6, and it's essentially a helix kind of pedal, but boiled down into a much smaller footprint, and man, it sounds great. However, for me, it was just too complicated. I didn't really need all of that for what I wanted to do on my gigs that I'm playing. So I decided, I looked into some different options. You know, I'm a big Strymon fan. I have a lot of their stuff on my big board. But I wanted to check out the Boss, and I wanted to give Boss a chance because I really haven't owned many of their pedals since I was like in high school and had a DD6 and a DD5, and I loved those pedals. I mean, I've had loopers in recent years, and those are great pedals too, but I just haven't really messed with that much Boss. So I got this pedal partially because my friend Corey Congilio was recommending it, and he put it on this board in place of the Stomp, actually, because he just wanted some modulation as well. And man, I'm so impressed with this pedal. It sounds beautiful. It has all your classic, you know, chorus, phaser, flanger, like the Boss style. And not only that, I mean, it has some really other interesting stuff. You can do crazy stuff like ring mod. It has like a rotary sound, you know, like a Leslie organ thing. Filter, you know, you can do some wah. The slicer, that's a very cool Boss pedal. Overtone, I can even do octaves with this thing. And so I'm new to this pedal, but I'm just really enjoying it. It also has like that Univibe classic kind of like Hendrixy sound, some tremolo and vibrato. I mean, it's super diverse, and I've been blown away by the tones so far. Alex did such a great job, you know, getting all these big pedals on the board, and I'm able to fit this small board actually in my suitcase. So I have some fly dates coming up, and I have some different stuff like that. So it's really important that I can fit the board, you know, in my bag, carry my guitar on, and, you know, play amps, you know, backline amps on the gig wherever I travel to. All right, so the next pedal in the chain is the Source Audio Nemesis. And I absolutely love this pedal. I had the Tonal Recall on this board before. The Tonal Recall is a wonderful pedal. It sounds really organic. It sounds really dark and rich. It reminds me a lot of, you know, my Electro Harmonics delay that I had back in the day. You know, I mean, it's just really wonderful, rich and warm, like that kind of analog sound. But it's not that versatile, the tonal recall. So I was so excited when I saw the Nemesis on a couple friends' boards, and man, it has truly lived up. Like, the footprint is so small, and there's so many tones in this thing. It absolutely sounds incredible. So I've been using it for a little bit of slapback. Then I have a Matt Schofield kind of delay where it has that short one repeat that kind of makes the amps sound much bigger and fuller and richer. And then I have kind of a longer delayed, like solo delay kind of thing, you know, with like more repeats, that kind of like those epic solos that I'm trying to take. And then I also have this really interesting reverse delay that I use on one song with John Papa Grow. And yeah, so that's all in there, and that's being controlled. I can change the presets with this Analog Endeavors 2 button aux switch here. And this thing works amazingly well, and it's, you know, really small, which is awesome. So then comes to the final pedal in the chain, and that is the Strymon Flint. And I will tell you, every like pedal board that I've had in the last few years has had the Strymon Flint on it. Why is that? I absolutely love this pedal. It's got beautiful reverb that you can do kind of epic long trails on if you want. You can darken it and really get it to sit in the mix. It's, you know, it's got the spring, it's got the plate, it's got the hall verbs, and they all sound beautiful. I typically like to use the plate verb, and I use it in conjunction with my amp verb, or sometimes I turn the amp verb off and just use this because it sounds that beautiful. And also, of course, the tremolo side is just so rich and cool. And I use, like, a lot of times, probably for the most part, the classic tube tremolo on it, you know, as if it's an amp tremolo. But sometimes, you know, for a fun, like, extra taste on a solo, I'll use that harmonic tremolo that has that kind of swirly, almost univibe sound. Yeah, so those are the pedals on here. Alex wired this with the Evidence audio cables and these nice, beautiful black plugs here. And I'll zoom into all of this so you can see. And then I'm using the Strymon Power underneath. In all honesty, I'm not the biggest fan of this power supply. I just want to be really clear. I would not buy it again. It's great, it's cool. I just think it's not the most well-built power supply. I had a problem where the in for the power got messed up, and it cost me $50 to replace just this power box. Like literally this and a new cable, like $53 shipped or something like that. It was kind of insane. And I reached out to them, and I was disappointed that they didn't want to help me out with it. So luckily, I'm able to still power it with the through input, and so it still works. But honestly, I would opt for sure in the future for a power supply that has an IEC cable plug directly on the box, not this thing. This thing is where the IEC plugs into, and then that goes with this special cable that's impossible to find on the road. That's proprietary Strymon cabling, right? That goes from here to the actual power box. If this broke on the road, it wouldn't work. So at some point I will be replacing these two pieces. But, you know, for now they're working fine, and Alex did such a wonderful job labeling this, and so I know, like, you know, when something's going wrong, if something's going wrong, I'm on the road, I can tell what's going on. So anyway, thanks for checking out this video. I hope you're digging the content here on my YouTube channel. I've got a lot of lessons and gear stuff coming at you. Please go ahead, like, subscribe, and share it with your friends. And, you know, if you have any ideas for lessons or anything you're interested in and hearing a demo of, please let me know in the comments. I'd love to, you know, chat with you, and I'm always available and, you know, interested in gear and guitar and what you're learning. And, you know, if you're interested in kind of furthering your development as a guitar player, I have a full course on my website, www.danielserif.com. You can check it out and you can sign up for free, actually. This is a 5-part video series about the minor pentatonic, breaking out of those classic pentatonic boxes, and learning how to make real music with the scale. All right, there's tons of great stuff, including a 30-page ebook and some backing tracks on there. So I hope you'll head over there and check it out. All right, thanks again. Have a great day, and I'll see you soon.